How you doing? This is Melvin Brown, and welcome back to the Melvin Brown Experience. Today is not going to be a story time, but today is going to be another topic. And this topic, we're going to talk about spiritual baths and spiritual washes. Now, I decided to come out with this video because I had this in the archive for a long period of time, for a few years, and I decided to take it out and give it to y'all. Now, we talking about spiritual baths. I'm going to start it off like this. What is a spiritual cleansing? A spiritual cleansing is a form of practice that cleanses the soul and cleanses the mind and heals the body. Now look, spiritual cleansings are very important because every day we go out to different environments that holds a lot of negative energy. Sometimes it don't have to be the people, it could just be the environment or the chaos that happen around that environment. Now me growing up in Philadelphia, I think the most craziest environment I ever been to was Kensington and Somerset. Like if you ever walk around that environment, that's a serious environment with a lot of tragic chaos. Like when the last time I was down there, it was to a point that I couldn't stop coughing. It was to a point that I had a lot of headaches till I stopped going down there. Now when I took a bath, I realized the reason why I shouldn't go down there. It wasn't meant for me to go down there. Remember I said every day we go out to different environments that holds a lot of negative energy, like a lot of turmoils. Let me give you an example when it comes to people. Let me give you an example. Have you ever had that one coworker that was a good person, meant well for everybody, but every time you was around that person, weird stuff started to occur? Like for example, depression pops up out of nowhere. You start losing items at your job. You can't stay focused. You can't stay, you can't stay in the groove of things. No, it's not because that person threw witchcraft at you. More than likely, that person has some negative energy around him that he do not know, around him or her, that they do not know, and they need a cleansing as soon as possible. Now, I highly recommend people that should get cleansings, such as doctors, teachers, social workers, even nurses. But what makes it even more important, cops and firefighters need a cleansing or a spiritual wash because every day they're around chaotic situations, chaotic environment, chaotic people. They're around people that have negative energy. One thing about negative energy, it always latch on to people. It's just that simple. Now, that's just the basics of about everything. Another thing I highly recommend is making your own baths. Why is making your own baths important? Because honestly, you're putting your own ashe in there, your own power. When you make something from scratch, I guarantee you will get the best results that you was asking for, depending on your intentions while making these baths. Now, I want to talk about something else. Now, a lot of people go to spiritual shops and everything. Y'all see these baths out of nowhere. Come to me bath, love me bath, do as I say bath, protection bath, keep law away bath. To be honest with you, they are good titles. But to tell you the truth, most of that stuff is manufactured. One thing about these spiritual shops, half of their baths are manufactured. All is meant for it to smell good, and you use your intention, and if it work, it worked. I understand what they're trying to say. Take a bath with it, you believe it, you should receive it. But I believe the best baths that work when they have herbs in there. Let me be honest with y'all. Now, everybody sees stuff on TikTok, Instagram, you name it, about spiritual baths. Now, I'm talking about on IG, like especially the models. Now, it was one woman I followed. She a public figure and everything. She posted something like, yeah, I'm taking a spiritual bath, y'all. And to be honest with you, that bath did not look like a bath. It looked more a photo shoot for a magazine. And then what the other people start doing? Following the trend. Did they get results? No. Now, a real spiritual bath is going to look very ugly. Sometimes it might smell good, but look very hideous to get in. That shit might look like, yo, if I get in this motherfucker, if I take a bath with this motherfucker, I'm gonna break out. But if a bath look really ugly, that's what you need to get the negative energy off you or to get what you need to get. Sometimes baths can look ugly but smell good as hell. Now, if a spiritual bath smell very yucky, 9 times out of 10, you got some shit on you that had to take something that smelled yucky to get off of you, because something that was, whatever was sent your way or whatever was latched onto you was very yucky. Now, let me give you a story time about baths. But before I tell you a story time about the baths, let me tell you a few things what baths can do. Not only cleanse you from negative energy, not only banish negative energy off you, but it can also bring you money, fortune, love, you name it. Whatever you want and whatever you truly desire, that's what a spiritual bath will do. Let me tell you a story time. So I remember about a year ago, it was me and a good friend of mine. Me and her was on the phone. She said, yo, Melvin, I want to try some new spells. I said, all right, fuck it. Yo, you ever tried doing bath rituals? She said, no, I never tried doing bath rituals. I'm like, yo, bath rituals are very more powerful. That shit more powerful than a candle itself. So she wound up listening to me, and she started doing her own concoctions. What wound up happening, not only she got promotion for her job, she got more customers from her self-care product business, to a point that high-end people want to work with her and buy her stuff. To a point now, potentially, a distribution deal is in the talks right now for some good money. Baths can do stuff like that. Now, let me tell you another story about a spiritual bath. So I remember one time, it was this potential client I was going to work with. She coming to me, Melvin, I'm going through this. Melvin, I'm going through that. Melvin, my life all fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, baby girl, I'm in Toronto, Canada right now, and I can't even give you a bath even to save your life, but I can give you some advice. She said, what advice? I said, well, look, I can teach you how to make a bath and everything should be fine. What wound up happening was she listened to everything I told her to do. What wound up happening, her ex-boyfriend came back. She got called back from her job. Everything was going back to normal. And that was because somebody spiritually attacked her. And let me tell you, that didn't take one day. Y'all probably listen to this shit like, oh, that shit took one bath. No. That shit took her approximately 2 months to take a bath every single week to wash that shit the fuck off. And what wound up happening, she got what she wanted. Sometimes y'all don't need to go to spiritual work sometimes. Sometimes y'all got to do the work yourself. That's how y'all get the best results. This is Melvin Brown. That is my conclusion to spiritual baths. You know what? I take that back. I got another story. So I had this one client that wanted to buy a spiritual bath from me. I gave her the bath. What wound up happening was not only she got a better job making more salary, but she got a house and she got everything. And that took probably about 9 months. And it wasn't no candle. It was just a simple bath. That is my conclusion on the spiritual baths. Now, spiritual wash. Remember, cleanliness is right next to godliness. Not only if you're taking a spiritual bath, you will get blessings or unlock some doors that was closed or open a new path for you. Now, I always tell people this. When you get a house or buy a new house or get an apartment, I always tell all my clients, make sure you clean the house. But the house is already clean, Melvin. No. You go down to the spiritual store, get your spiritual supplies, wash the house from head to toe. That means the walls, the cabinets, the floors, you name it. Because 9 times out of 10, before you moved in that house, you don't know who stayed in that house before you. You don't know if that person was doing magic. You don't know magic was thrown at that person. You don't know that motherfucker was a serial killer. You don't know what the hell was going on in the house. So you always have to cleanse because you don't know it's haunted spirits. It could be etc. Now, if you do that, clean out the house, 9 times out of 10, more blessings. Now, I had this one friend of mine, right? Every fucking weekend, she will clean her fucking house, like mopping the floors. I'm like, why are you mopping the floors? She said, Melvin, this is a good spell to do. I'm like, what you mean mopping the floors is a good spell? She said, Melvin, I guarantee you mop your floor every weekend, I guarantee you're going to have more customers. Or anything that you want, you're going to get what you want. I said, all right, bet. I started doing floor washes. 9 times out of 10, what started happening? Not only the customers got better, but anything I asked for was actually working. Spiritual washes and spiritual baths are very important. Like, I believe taking baths or doing any type of washes will get you far in life. Because when you do a cleansing in the bath once a week, I guarantee you, all that negative energy will disappear. Your house will always be in a positive energy space. Have you ever been to a person's house before? Somebody that always mop the floors every weekend or wash the walls. Do you ever feel any negative energy there? 9 times out of 10, no. Now, you don't have to do a spiritual wash just for your house. Do you have an office space or do you have a business store? If you do that, I guarantee you get a lot of customers, or whatever you want, you will get. It just don't have to be your house. It could be your business or anywhere that you normally be at. You can wash there. This is Melvin Brown. This is the Melvin Brown Experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, email me. I am out.